Hi everybody, my name is Brian Fitzgerald with Oceancare products. For those of you who don't know, Oceancare is a premium line of tile sealers and cleaners. What we're here to talk to you about today is our high performance penetrating sealer. Before we get into what makes this product special, we need to talk to you a little bit about how sealers work and how they're formulated. So sealers really have two major components. They have an active ingredient and a carrier. The active ingredient is what actually seals the surface when it's left behind. The carrier takes the active ingredient down into that surface and then evaporates away. Traditionally, sealers have been available in either a water-based or solvent-based carrier. Each had its benefits, its drawbacks, but the homeowner or contractor was left to choose which they preferred. Now with the Oceancare High Performance Penetrating Sealer, we're offering a hybrid carrier technology. It's not water-based, it's not solvent-based, it's actually both, and it brings you the best of both worlds. With this formula, we can recommend this product for interior and exterior use. It's low residue, low odor, low VOC, very easy to use. Most importantly, this product can be used over the top of damp or uncured grout, which means your contractor can seal your grout the same day he installs the grout, doesn't have to make a return trip 3 days later. Now that we've talked to you a little bit about the product, we're going to get into the application process. Okay, now we're actually getting into using the product. We have some glass mosaics here and some porcelain which we're going to be sealing. Now, the glass mosaics and the porcelain are impervious. These don't actually need to be sealed, but the grout should be. So first we're going to talk about application methods. The product can be sprayed from a spray bottle. You can be put into a Hudson sprayer for large natural stone floors. You can use a synthetic sealer sponge, which are available at most tile stores. It can go on with something as simple as a bristle brush. In this case, I'm going to show a couple different methods for the mosaics and the porcelain. First, we're just going to spray on a little bit of sealer onto the mosaics. It's as simple as that. You can see the grout joints starting to wet out a little bit. Just going to push that around a little bit to make sure it's nice and evenly covered with the brush. Now that's applied from the mosaics. We're going to let that sit for a minute or two. We're going to talk about porcelain. So obviously on a large porcelain floor, this is a lot of area to cover with sealer where you really don't need it. You're going to want to just keep it on the grout joints. In order to do that, the simplest thing is usually just use a little foam brush or paintbrush, pick up a little bit of the product from a container, and just paint it right onto the grout joints. You're always going to get a little bit onto the tile, that's not a problem. We're going to come back and wipe that right off in a few minutes. Now that we've got that grout pretty well coated, we're going to let that sit for 1 to 3 minutes and allow it to penetrate. After about the 3-minute mark, we've let it set, let it penetrate in. Don't really want it to dry on the surface. We're just going to come back and wipe off any excess that hasn't been absorbed. Now this is where the low residue part of this formula comes into play. A lot of real heavy oily sealers, this is a very laborious step of getting the sealer off the tile, off the glass mosaics. In this case, it's really like wiping on and wiping off water. It's very simple. And that's it. We let that sit for about 20 minutes and put on a second coat. Your grout is sealed. So that's our basics of sealing. Remember, don't do anything Captain Oceancare wouldn't do, and keep it clean.